future communication won't look the same as today. And Kasia.fyi is building for the future with their next generation communication layer built on top of Kaspa.
Sovereign messaging platform. It's an open source project that inherits Kaspa properties, which are secure, decentralized, and blazingly fast.
IzioDev came along to the show to represent KasiaMessaging built by the community.
Auzghosty started this project. We have Ernie, we have some other Rusty Kaspa contributor as well, Maxim. Yura from Kaspa.
IzioDev is also known for his contributions to Rusty Kaspa.
I've added this feature so you can specify minimum confirmation count you want. Basically, it helps exchanges to observe the network.
In this video, Encrypted and IzioDev discussed underlying technology with the in-depth demo to understand how messages happen and how they settle on layer 1, along with the roadmap that Kasia contributors have in mind.
And this is the message, fully encrypted. I cannot read it. You want to speak to an LLM on Kasia, you initiate a transaction, you speak to it.
By the end of the video, you will understand the stark differences between different communication protocols on other chains and how Kasia is built differently.
It's for the community, by the community.
Hi, welcome to XXIM podcast, your home of decentralization. Today, I'm here with IzioDev, co-contributor to Kasia. Welcome, IzioDev.
Hello, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you, IzioDev, and thank you for your time. Let me start by saying, I think Kaspa community has been fantasizing about Kaspa messaging, wallet-to-wallet messaging, and you guys just gave it to them with KasiaMessaging, right? So let me start by asking you this simple question. How do you guys internally define KasiaMessaging?
Yeah, we like to see it as a sovereign messaging platform. It's an open source project that inherits Kaspa properties, which are secure, decentralized, and blazingly fast, like internet speed. So, and on top of it, we added a layer of encryption. So that's how we define it. We like to see it as by the community, for the community.
Yeah.
That's what Kasia is. And just to mention that Kasia is both an application and a protocol. And currently, the both are inside the same code base, but ideally, in the future, we will split them. So you will have the protocol that has its own SDK.
Right.
Everyone could use it.
Yeah.
And you will have a Kasia. So every communication ideally will be interoperable across several applications. And you can imagine a bunch of use cases.
Right. Awesome. So let me jump in first into your personal story, personal background, which we love. I think I love knowing people's background, and I'm sure community loves it too. So I know before this chat, you mentioned you're also a contributor to Rusty Kaspa. So why don't you actually tell us what's your background and you know, sort of outside of Kasia, what have you contributed to Kaspa?
Yeah, so I've started to be interested in crypto very lately, actually, like 2 years ago, I think. I researched Bitcoin, obviously, and some other blockchains. And eventually on Reddit, I started to see Kaspa.
Right.
So someone mentioned Kaspa and make huge claims. I was pretty suspicious about the claims that were made. Yeah. So I started to deep dive into researching this. I was still suspicious because I didn't understand the white paper at first. So I decided to just try it and build some stuff on top of it. And it was magic. It was pure magic. I love it. I joined the community on Discord mainly. Started to discuss with different people, awesome people, by the way.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, I then spent a lot of time in understanding Kaspa, how it works, different components of it. And eventually I started to contribute to Rusty Kaspa too. Very small scale. I'm humble about it, but yeah, I hope this will grow in the future too. I love Kaspa.
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing. And what have you contributed so far to Rusty Kaspa?
So the main contribution I have added is pretty specific, but currently, if you want to observe the network, you will have to wait some confirmation before you can start admit some transaction. And currently, there's no way of waiting, built-in method to wait. And I've added this feature so you can specify a minimum confirmation count you want.
I see.
Like 10, 15.
Yeah.
And then you will, it helps exchanges to observe the network and indexers. Yeah.
I see. Interesting. Very cool. And you worked with quarter of stuff, and you were saying some work with aspects, right? Aspect.
We are talking to each other, and they help me to contribute. They are very welcoming. These two person are, awesome people.
Yeah.
The dev are very welcoming to new contributors.
Yeah, I think it's a very open. Kaspa is a very open, community, especially the development side. A lot of builders we talk to are enjoy being part of the community, enjoy building on Kaspa. So who are the other contributors to Kasia? Is that how you call it? Because you were calling it some other way, right? You're not calling Kasia. I'm calling Kasia.
Kasia, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure about it. We will have to ask the creator of it, actually, which is Auzghosty. So actually, Auzghosty started this project. It was bearable. You could slide into DM. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Actually, this is I think the first thing we saw after the payload feature on Kaspa. So this is a method to embed some data with a transaction.
Right.
Pretty easy to use. Yeah. So he started it, and I saw this. I joined in, and eventually I started to add the encryption on top of it. Because it was all clear text before.
Oh.
And a bunch of people, it started as it. Yeah.
Pure text, right? I see.
And yeah. And then a bunch of people joined. So we have Ernie, we have some other Rusty Kaspa contributor as well. So Maxim, which is pretty smart guy. Yeah, like he helped us a lot on the research aspect of Kasia. He still is helping a lot. So anyone that wants to contribute some to Kasia is welcome here. Anything, it can be a pure product aspect or technical aspect. Anything you can come contribute. It's fully open.
Awesome. I think it'd be fun if community corrects me. I'm calling Kasia. You were saying Kasia?
Kasia, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know which one is the right one, but we'll figure it out, I think, all together. But that's very cool. So Auzghosty, Maxim, so two names. Anyone else who's contributing to it?
Ernie. On Discord, Ocus Locus, I think on Twitter.
Okay.
And 3 or 4 other people contributed. Yura from Casway, for example. Yeah. And as the world caves in, who started created a chess for Kasia. Yeah, I think you saw that.
Yeah.
So I think we are 8 contributors at this time.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I saw Coin Athlete also did the messaging book.
Yeah. Pretty good. I love it. Like, you want to do something, you just do it, you propagate it, and the community embrace it.
Yeah, no, I thought it was beautiful. Like that how many people came together to contribute, and and people are loving the app. Kasia will figure out the name, but I think in terms of usability, it seems to be going gangbusters, and people are loving it, which is amazing to see something built by the community for the community. So let's get into the Kasia messaging itself, right? So it's decentralized, encrypted, on-chain communication, right? It's first Kaspa's messaging app, but these apps within the crypto ecosystem has been around, right? I've personally used SolChat maybe a year and a half ago, maybe a year ago, which was built on Solana. Ethereum, when I was doing some research, I found there are 21 communication protocol. So perhaps my question is, are you forking some other chains communication product and bringing it to Kaspa, or it's sort of built from ground up?
So we started to research encryption mechanism, and the state of the art on this is Signal. Signal, which is it's pretty open. Like all the white papers are readable by anyone. So we did dive into it at first, and then we had to adapt to Kaspa, because on Kaspa we have as I mentioned, the payload feature, which is a transport layer that is let's say forced by Kaspa. So we had to adapt some things, and we made it work this way. So you mentioned SolChat. Yeah, I've researched it. So what I want to say is the first is different vision. We said that it's for the community by community, no revenue, no protocol fees. We wanted to build sovereign communication platform. So I think this is the vision. And I think SolChat is quite different. It has a token. You have to own enough token to be able to speak. It has some fees, network fees, but also protocol fees. So this is a bit different. Last technical difference on SolChat is that the sender and the receiver bounds are visible. So if you chat with me, one can say, okay, they talk this often. They can know how often we talk to each other. Yeah.
You guys are not trying to build it to be a token. You don't want it to have a revenue stream off the back of it. The money is just going straight to the miners, the tiny fee that you charge, right? There is no fee that's involved that you guys are going to be taking. Right. So that's on the product side. There's no token coming. On the technical side, I think I want to get into technical stuff. Like, I was quite amazed by how it actually works, and also how the messaging is actually, it settles on the layer one. That's quite unique. And I think I love everyone to understand that, including myself. So those are the sort of big thing. Anything on the, and is this like everyone's vision? Like all the contributors are like agreeing to that? There's no like pushback?
We've built a governance document. We are still building it. It's a draft. So Kasia is a cluster initiative. So cluster is a member of a few people, 4-5 people. And we all agreed on the values that are Kaspa values. So if someone wants to make such a great change, they have to, we have to go through a vote, and get a super majority to adopt it. So you will have to corrupt each one of us to create a token. That's what I'm saying.
I see. So it's a Discord voting system you came up with, and you sort of split it evenly between the core devs.
Exactly. And eventually, I hope we can move from Discord to Kasia in the future. Yeah.
I see. I see. I mean, it's not a hard thing, because, everyone has a different context and perspective on the future of the product. And sometimes, even developers have to really agree or disagree on things. So let's go into the technology, how Kasia works. I have a little bit of understanding on the SolChat. They use this thing called PDAs, program-derived accounts, right? So why don't we go into technology? How does it work from someone sending a message all the way to settling on the layer 1?
It's pretty simple to understand, I think. So first of all, we have to know about each other.
Right.
So I will emit an handshake to you. You will, so this will be a transaction on the layer 1. All the data from this handshake will be contained in the payload of this transaction, fully encrypted with your public key, which is your Kaspa address. So only you can decrypt the content of it. And you will receive this handshake. You will know it will be from me. You will know my alias. So this is my pseudonym, nickname, if you want. And unique nickname for just for both of us. So I will create a unique alias for you. You will receive that and you will say, okay, I accept it. So you will or not, but let's say you accept. You accept it, and you will emit an handshake to me that will conclude the communication. So
what do you
create a bind?
Sorry, IzioDev, what are you saying? You inject what?
Handshake. Sorry.
Handshake. Sorry. Okay.
Handshake. Yeah. My bad. Yeah.
Of course not. Handshake. Right. I see. So you both parties handshake that we both are happy to accept messages from each other, and then that's where the process starts.
Exactly. So currently we have two transactions on the DAG, mine and yours. Right. And now we know about each other. So from there, every communication cannot be let's say, no one can know I'm talking to you. No one can know you're talking to me from this moment. Each consecutive message will still be a transaction on the layer 1. And you will read this transaction because you know my alias. So you know it's from me.
When you say no one knows you're talking to me and I'm talking to you, but on SolChat, you said people know who's talking to whom. What are the differences, like how on Solana people can see who's talking to whom, but not on Kaspa?
On the execution program, you have the metadata. And if you inspect this execution, you will see the metadata contains your address. So I will be able to know to whom you're speaking with.
Oh, I see. On Solana, you should be like, by looking at the metadata, you would be able to see the receiving recipient of the messages, right? And the sender, obviously, you'll be able to sender as well. On Kaspa, it's not happening.
You will be able to see if we handshake. You will be able to guess that we handshaked each other. Right. That's one point. Yeah. We can eliminate that thing in the future, by the way. So currently, yes, you can tell that we handshaked, but once this is done, you cannot tell to whom I'm speaking with.
I see.
Like you cannot know how often I'm speaking to you.
I see. Why is that? Is it not coming into the metadata?
It's because we exchanged an alias. I created an alias from me to you. You created an alias for me.
I see.
Yeah. And then we know each other, but no one else know what this alias is.
Right. And this alias is tied to the wallet address?
It's completely random.
Okay.
You generate it randomly.
Okay. So it's not connected to public key?
No.
Okay. Right. So it's completely random. I can create my alias, so I can call myself, I don't know, computer. IzioDev accepted me, we handshake, and now from there on, no one knows on the metadata side that I'm computer, you're IzioDev. That gets stripped off.
When you will share your alias with me, it will be completely encrypted. So only me can know what your alias is. Yeah. Right.
I see.
That's the thing. Yeah.
I see. Why don't we jump straight into the demo then?
Okay. So I have a prepared wallet here.
Yeah.
I will just login into it. And I will create.
So on the left, you have the one which wallet that already linked to Kasia.
Exactly.
Right, you are going to create a new wallet.
Exactly. So here I can see that I'm connected to the network. I can use my own node if I like to. So currently I'm connected to the public network. This works very well for most use cases. So I'm gonna create a new wallet here. Let's call it demo and a password. Okay, so it's compatible with Caspian. So if you want to import it, I'm gonna create it. This will display my seed phrase, but it will be a one-time use, so no need to save it. So I'm in the demo wallet now. I'm gonna send some Kaspa into this wallet. So show address, I copied address. I'm gonna send some Kaspa because by default, obviously it is a fresh wallet.
So every messaging needs tiny bit of Kaspa, right? So I was reading through it. It's 0.000017 Kaspa.
Exactly. We recommend to send 10 Kaspa just for the sake of the longevity.
Yeah.
But you can send a lower amount if you just want to try it out.
I think most wallets like only allow a minimum of 3 Kaspas.
Correct. Yeah. So I've sent the Kaspa here from Caspian. So now I need to share the address of wallet 1 to wallet 2 or wallet 2 to wallet 1. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna use this one. Okay. And this one is gonna initiate an handshake. Right. So the handshake, currently, this will be improved in the future, but currently we need to provision the handshake transaction with some Kaspa.
Okay.
This is a limitation because we didn't spend too much time on it, but in the future this will be reduced by a lot.
Where is this CAS going? 0.2 CAS. Where is it going?
Yeah, good question. It is going to the participant I'm talking to. So let's say this is my brother that doesn't know about Kaspa yet. So he doesn't have any Kaspa yet. So I'm gonna send him to Kaspa. Right. So he will be able to answer me and we will be able to chat to each other.
That's very neat. That's very neat. I like it. I didn't get it first time when I actually saw it. So now you're sending this tiny CAS to the recipient. So the recipient who might not be aware of that they need some Kaspa has some Kaspa to send it reply back to you.
Exactly.
Cool.
And if my recipient have a KNS domain, I could have entered the KNS domain here. It would have at work. Yeah, it resolved the...
I see. Cool. Yeah, it'll work with KNS as well. Right.
Okay, so I'm going to start the chat. Confirm. It's sent. And I received it here. So I've sent an handshake on the right. I received it on the left. And I'm gonna accept it.
Yeah.
Completed. We will see completed on the right. So this is a real transaction. Just so everyone see it. It really is a Kaspa transaction here. We can see the lightning speed of Kaspa, and this is amazing.
It's beautiful. Beautiful to see.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
really. So from now on, I can speak with each other. I don't know. Hello world. And I should already hear. So I received it. And I can answer. No, thanks for your communication. And this is received.
Right. So this all the communication is transmitted as a transaction, right? Each message is transmitted as a transaction. Can we see each? Yeah.
Yes. So you can click on a message and click on view transaction.
Right.
It will open the Explorer.
Right.
And we can see the transaction here.
Right.
So this use this amount of Kaspa for message transaction. It's really nothing. It's the lowest fee we can set.
Right.
We cannot go lower.
You cannot go lower, and it's just going straight to the miners, not to the protocol and to you guys.
Exactly, straight to the network.
What else can we do here? You can send files?
You can send files. So we recently added a compression mechanism. Okay, yeah, it's compressing.
Oh, so it's okay. It's going to compress. I'm sure it's going to be more than 0.001 cent, right, Kas?
Yeah, it will be 10x more. It's saying at least here. You can see maybe it's too little, but yeah, this is the amount.
Yeah, it's 10x more than the last one for the message. Yeah.
Yeah. So when the network is congested, you can also change the priority fees here. Currently, there's no need. It works out of the box, but just to let you know, it's possible. So currently, the file is here. It's compressed, and I will be able to send it to my participants. So this is early feature. Later on, it will have a preview, thumbnail, etc., etc. But just for the example,
yeah,
I'm sending it, and he received it.
Right. So bigger the file, more you pay. So how many is it gone as a one transaction? This image?
Yeah. Currently, it's one transaction. We can imagine. So yeah, the payload is way bigger, obviously.
Payload, yeah.
Yeah. So currently it uses one transaction. We can imagine a different setup where, I don't know, you want to upload a file to IPFS system and just send the link, and the other, you can imagine a bunch of system on top of it.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Because I think most of the other encrypted crypto apps will use IPFS. Be obviously just one tiny transaction. The link is there. You just use the link, right? That's cool.
Yeah.
But that'll come later, right?
Yeah, exactly. And a last thing we added recently is send a payment. So this is just for the sake of it. But you can send a small message and send a Kaspa amount here.
Nice.
And it will send a payment. So here I should have received one Kaspa here. Yeah.
Right. That is amazing. So now you can do, so at this stage, at this current 0.2 version, right, you can do text messaging, you can do file sharing, and you can do payment sending. So you can share payments, right? Anything else that a user might need to know here? I do have a question actually, but yeah, you can finish off your thought.
Yeah, it's just that this is as you mentioned, the base version. A bunch of things will come. Maybe we will detail it later. Yeah. But yeah, this is basic, and this works.
Yeah,
as is.
Yeah, no, awesome. Could you please show us where the handshake happened on the Explorer? When
sure. So
handshake happened, yeah.
This transaction is the one that initiated the handshake. So you can see that it came from. Let me just verify it.
So from G46G, yeah.
Yeah, I was the target. So the right side sent two Kaspas to the left wallet.
Yeah.
This is what we see here. And the important thing is the payload here, which is encrypted.
Fully encrypted, I see. And what happens from there on? There will be no, so if you go and click on the subsequent message, there will be no address?
Exactly. So this is interesting what you're asking. I didn't know if we can deep dive into this, but yeah, let's deep dive. No, it's great actually. So from now on, you will not send a message to the recipient directly. You will create a transaction to yourself
Right. So this is the 46G. I can see address. That's
exactly. So you send a transaction to yourself, and the interesting part is in here. And the other participant will scan the network, and for all the transaction that happens on the network, and they will say, okay, this is my alias, so I know this is for me.
So when you say this is my alias, what specifically you're saying? Like in the payload or?
Okay. Yeah, in the payload. So you have a Kasia prefix in the payload that is known to everyone. So your application, your Kasia application only scan Kasia specific transaction because we don't care about the rest. And after that prefix, that is general, you have the alias. So the alias you exchange to each other beforehand.
I see. And which one is the prefix? The 7-8 digits first?
Actually, we can inspect that.
We can decrypt, right?
It's not decrypt, but it's decode. So there it is. So this is the Kasia prefix.
Oh, I
general.
See. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is the version. This is another specificities. And this is the alias here. I highlight it. So this is the participant alias.
Is the participant alias? I see. Which is encrypted.
And it's not encrypted. This one.
Oh, F5.
Yeah, it's.
I see.
It's the alias, not encrypted, but no one know to whom it's referring to.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
And this is the message, fully encrypted. This one I cannot read it.
Right. I see. So I see. Okay, I'm with you now. I think I'm glad that we went through it because I think it's very useful for people to see through the level of privacy that you're giving to the sender and the recipient. That is very cool. So thank you so much, IzioDev. I think for anyone who hasn't used the app so far, or anyone who's even hasn't heard of it, I think I'm sure they'll enjoy seeing what they can do with it, right? So let's move on to the next question, perhaps, that I have for you. You guys launched maybe a couple of weeks ago, and you're obviously seeing some great stats. So it'd be good to share with the community what the total number of messages that's been shared, number of wallets that are connected to it. So anything you can share with us, I think it'll be great to perhaps see.
Okay, so one thing we know, so we don't want to run analytics. This is a policy we added, but we can see something yet because this is publicly recorded on our end. Is the number of time Kasia.fyi has been reached multiple thousands of time. I think that's 5,000 of time. And one thing that anyone can attest is the number of time Kasia was used effectively, because you can inspect the transaction, see the prefix, and say, okay, this counts as one. Yeah. We haven't run that on our own yet, but you can do it if you want. It would be great to have this number. And Smart Goo, we created Kaspalytics. Recently, I did analytics on Kasia and other protocols as well.
Yeah.
And so we saw 1,000 message on Kasia on a 24-hour time window, which is really great. We like to see this.
Yeah, that was from yesterday, right? 1,000 messages over last 24-hour duration. So that was, I think it was the biggest number so far.
Yep, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. That was amazing. And we don't know if it's one person or two people really sending back and forth, or is it like 50 people doing 20 transactions?
We cannot know. That's the great thing. Yeah,
we wouldn't want to know also. So far, all you know is that the highest number of transactions you guys have had is 1,000, which just happened yesterday.
Yeah.
I was quite amazed by that number. I thought it was, it's really good for 2 weeks old app.
Yeah, we love the community loves the product and made plenty of feedback to us, and all this excitement is energizing us. So yeah, it's so good.
So what are the long-term plans for Kasia? So what are you guys thinking? Are you thinking of adding, the next obvious step would be, voice calling? You can get into that direction. You can get into video calling, which has happened on other, chains, as I mentioned earlier on. You can even go as far as email to build. What are you guys thinking in terms of the direction you want to take?
I think it's the community to decide, but we have some plan already set. Yeah. It can change. If someone wants to participate and start to do something, they are free to do. So as you mentioned, voice, video, image, why not? In the future, currently no plan for that at the moment, but technically it's doable. We already discussed that internally, effectively. So we have a 3-step: short, mid, and long term. Short term is dissociate Kasia as an application and Kasia as a protocol.
Okay.
So we want to dissociate this, make the SDK fully protocol so anyone can benefit this communication protocol, and even envision a thing where currently you can speak to human on Kasia. This is great. This is a first version, but later on, why not you can speak to a machine, automated workflow, like you want to speak to an LLM on Kasia. You initiate a transaction, you speak to it, it answers with autocomplete. It's a use case that we want to make such use case possible on Kasia as a protocol, and later on as the application.
Right. AI communication will happen. It's already happening, right? You guys have any specific use case that like, is it, hey, I want to transfer X amount of Kaspa to someone else's wallet, and then obviously AI takes over, controls your wallet, sends the money to someone else instead of you doing yourself? That's a very simple example, right?
Yeah, why not? Why not? If someone see values into it, it's possible. What I want to say is automated workflow in general, I think, is very beneficial. That we have a standardized protocol communication. Right. I don't know. I want to use Kaspa, create a payment. I want to be notified on Kasia, for example. You can create interoperable communication.
Yeah. I mean, the Kaspa is a good one, actually. If you can even get your receipts sent to you after the application, after you made the payment, the receipt comes through Kasia, for example, instead of Kaspa, because they don't have any way to send a receipt back to the user, right?
Yeah, currently no. So that would be a great use case. Yeah,
it's a very good use case. Same for perhaps even currency wallet, perhaps that, or any other wallets, right? That wants to add this feature of, I don't know, received something.
Yeah, receive something, be notified of something, or you want to initiate an automated workflow. I don't know, as I mentioned, an LLM autocomplete, so it's trendy currently, but maybe it's possible. The great thing about Kasia as a protocol is that it's built on top of Kaspa, and Kaspa is censorship resistant, as we all know. And this property is unique. Really interesting to go into that area.
Yeah, and I think one of the keywords you just mentioned is notification, which is, I think, perhaps for me, is the highlight, because all the dApps that will be built, Kasia could act as a service for notification alone. For thousands of notifications can happen, right? And it can just adapt to that function alone. I mean, that's huge if you really think about it, notification service.
Yeah, sure. Communication is not just about one-on-one human. It's about receive and send things. So yeah, this is the short-term goal: is dissociate protocol and the app midterm goal or groups. So you can group multiple participants and start to speak in a secure way. So we are still investigating the research area because there are much more complexity, obviously, on encryption and key sharing, group privileges, etc. But that's being worked on, and external notification, because currently, if your app is not opened, you cannot know you received something. So we are making external notification. It's being worked on too.
How will that work? So you'll have to have your like an app for Android and iOS. Is that the direction you'll have to go for external notification?
So that's one thing, but eventually there will be an external system that will run and inspect Kaspa network and say, okay, I see that this guy received something, so I will notify him. It can be a push notification on the phone. It can be anything. It can be a X message through a bot or Telegram, or I don't know, anything you want.
It could be different type of notification coming through different channels.
I just want to add one thing. So we said short, mid, and long term is the mainstream adoption. We want to make sure a newcomer that is new to crypto even can install the app and start speaking with friends and family without even knowing they're using Kaspa.
Yeah. Underneath, they don't need to know what's the TCP/IP that's running underneath the messaging service. You just want them to know the messaging service between sender recipient. They don't care about Kaspa. They shouldn't care about. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, they'll still have to buy Kaspa though.
That's a good point. Several solutions can be made, but yes, eventually then they need Kaspa.
Yeah, I think perhaps one suggestion that came to me is if someone is brand new, then you might have to link it to a place, because when someone is new, they don't know where to go find and buy Kaspa. So you might have to initially you're donating it to kickstart the conversation, but perhaps it'll be a good link from that person straight to, hey, go buy Kaspa here. So at least they know where to buy Kaspa.
Exactly. That's one possible thing for a brand new, but that's one thing that is currently being investigated toward the legal aspect, etc. It's complicated, but technically it's really simple. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure it is. Most of the things are simple, except when legality comes in. So let me just wrap this up with one last question for you. Where do you see Kaspa in next 2 years?
Kaspa in next 2 years, I see full adoption. I see bunch of new services that we used to see on Ethereum coming to Kaspa, such as tokenization, like rental property, for example. That's one example. Why not tokenized stocks on Kaspa? So this is toward utility wise. I see DeFi, like real DeFi. We didn't experience that in Kaspa previously. So with the smart contracts, and maybe we can benefit from this ecosystem that is the DeFi. But eventually, what I see is Kaspa finally shine with bunch of builders coming and grouping together, building great things, and ideally with a community-centric approach. We can expect that, I think.
Awesome. So lots of dApps, a lot of application, RWA, and then mainstream adoption.